Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now in this video we are going to be doing what you guys just saw right now. So warning, disclaimer right now. Hey you beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. On this video, as you already saw at the beginning, the preview, we're going to design a patio with a fire pit and also a retaining wall. And the reason for that is obvious. We want this area to be enjoyed by the homeowner. So we're gonna do that right now. So, as always, when I start doing a design, I always need to know what we are working with and what is the purpose of this area. This happens to be the side of the house where sometimes, depending on the lot situation, you may not have a lot of space, but this one happened to have space. However, there was a big thing that also had, and that was a drop off or a slope. And because of this slope, we needed to have a retaining wall if we wanted to do this specific thing, which was on top of that wall have a patio where they could enjoy the view of the range of the mountains. Now, this house happens to overlook at the Air Force Academy, if you know anything about that. And every year they have the graduation, and so it happens that when I did some of this shooting, some of the B-roll like you're gonna see right now, it was that day. Honestly, I have forgotten. I've been so busy just as a general designing and going out there and whatnot that I totally forgot. But that being said, you can see how it looks, and the people there definitely liked it. That being said, let's talk about that part and what needs to be done. Now, this lot, one of the things that we knew from the get-go was that they were going to have a lot of water going down next to this wall that was owned by the HOA in this specific lot. So what we did is the following thing, is knowing that this wall was going to be a certain height, which is of 5.5 feet made by block. We need to start from that point and kind of work towards the inside of the lot or the side of the yard. So what we did is that we put a combination of different materials, but the one next to this section was going to be what we call in this area granite riprap. And essentially it's just bigger stones, more jagged, generally around somewhere between 6 and 12 inches. It's not an actual measurement, but I mean it's within that range, and that's a really good idea, especially we're gonna have a lot of water running through there, so it doesn't move any of that. Now, one of those things is that once we leave that, then we can continue with the rest. But the important thing was the wall, because this wall was going to function as well to have this section to be nice and flat enough for this patio. So we built this wall to be about 4 feet plus a foundation, and keep in mind that depending on the project that you are doing, you may need some engineering assistance. So there is going to be a bit of a disclaimer, I think, at the beginning of the video about that. So yeah, if you're seeing this, you probably already saw that. But yes, one of the things is that depending on the type of wall that you're doing and the height and a lot of other factors, you may need to contact an engineer to help you with that part. We happen to have help on our end, so we were able to do a lot of this stuff. But this wall, as I mentioned before, was of approximate height of 4 feet, and obviously it tapers down on both ends, but you know, we only see one end on this side. So as we kind of move along from this wall, we did build it with also a similar stone as the one riprap I mentioned earlier, which is a type of granite. It wasn't the same specific one, but it was close to that one. And obviously, depending on where you are in the country, you may be using maybe natural boulders or maybe blocks meant for this type of thing. In this case, we did use boulders, and they were approximately in the medium range, which is somewhere between, I believe, 18 inches to about so 1.5 feet, give or take, to about, I believe it was 3 feet. So again, it's just a range, and we use those. once we built up this wall, then we were able to backfill it to kind of make it nice and flat, at least for the section right there. And that's where we have our concrete patio. Now this concrete patio is approximately about 4+ inches thick. However, where we have the fire pit sitting, it is way thicker on purpose. A few things behind that is because this fire pit happens to be a wood burning fire pit. So because of that, you definitely want to make sure that one, it'll take the weight, so we made in this general area thicker. Also, there's going to be some heat that's going to transfer to the concrete itself, so we made it one thicker. And then once this fire pit was being built, we also put inside of it some more type of bricks. So again, going back to the whole heat situation, it also disperses the heat. And then this fire pit happens to be made out of block. There's different companies out there, Pavestone, Bourget. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I should know. I'm in this industry, but I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. But nonetheless, there are different types of blocks, including Unilock, block companies, and they don't just do that one thing. They specialize in making this type of materials, be it pavers, be it blocks for retaining walls, and other type of materials for such projects. So once we did that, we kind of started making a design, a few trees that we wanted to put in the area, a section of mulch just to kind of decorate the section right there. Having a mulch and having a mixture of perennials will make it look really good. Also a tree, in this case we decided to go with a type of maple, a smaller kind, so they had a bit of the autumn sort of colors going on as we kind of approach the autumn time of year, the fall. So we started with that. We made this area to be 16 feet in diameter. Obviously when you're looking at the shot, it kind of may not look like that, but that's kind of what we went for. And in this case, the fire pit was closer to the wall itself, with the idea that you're gonna have chairs behind it. So if you are watching, say, anything, in this case the graduation, and they do have a few things that happens with that, an air show included, you can sit down, and this is not in the middle, so you can have more chairs right in that section. So you have this section being more free for more chairs, more people, more friends, that type of thing. At the same time, we connected this from the front of the house to this specific patio with a walking pathway, including some step downs, approximately 3 feet wide, which as far as I understand, even the homeowner's friend who happens to be in a wheelchair was able to get down there safely. So obviously that's important. One of the things is because it is quite steep on both ends of the house, we need to do something about this. Always when you are doing a project, you got to think about what this may cost you as far as, you know, the overall project. So sometimes you may have to do a few things now versus later, and maybe come back and add more things to that. So that was one of the things that we decided to go with, what we call DG, or decomposed granite, for the pathway. If a homeowner decides to do a concrete pathway, she can. So that's where we started with this design, having also an evergreen. It is fenced in, and that's obviously up to you depending on where you live. If you live in an area where an HOA exists, you may have to do a specific type of fence, and if you don't, great, you can do however you want to do that section. But again, the whole idea of this channel is to give you guys a bit of information that you guys are going to need, and this may help you if you decide to do a similar project in your home, especially talking about elevations. Elevations are really important because depending on the house foundation and how far away this patio is going to be, you may need a retaining wall or not. But even then, if you don't need a retaining wall, you're going to have to think about the actual patio and it to be leveled. So you're going to have to know how high you want this, and this can be something that's important, and you may not be thinking about that, especially if you're doing this yourself. So if you're doing this yourself, you gotta think about, one, how big you want this patio, because it could be, 18 or 20, whatever it is, the measurement that you're looking for as far as how many people you want to have there, but also how thick the concrete is going to be. If it is concrete, if you decide to do, say, pavers or something else, it's going to be obviously different. But depending if you have this type of thing where on one end it's going to be level, but the other one it's not, you may need on one section maybe 4 inches, and on the other end maybe 10, 12, 18 plus inches, so you're able to have this area flat. So these are some ideas that we're talking about, and yeah, so you're seeing me designing this, and this is what I did in order to get this design into real life. So you'll see in the video how I start. Generally, when I start doing any design, I'll start from the house and then kind of work my way out and with ideas of the homeowner. So what do you guys think about this? Is this something that you guys enjoyed? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys liked any of this, great, tell your friends. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. I'll see you guys again with another project next week. And if you guys have anything in mind, you have questions, reach out to me and I'll do my best to answer those questions. All right, guys. Well, anyways, that's it for this video, and I hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys later.